Today, we are going to be taking a look at a Jund artifact deck that, in all honesty, does take a couple of turns to get set up properly. But once we establish our board, much like a train, this thing is very, very difficult to stop. This is going to be an Anvil deck. If you guys aren't familiar by now with Anvil, it's an artifact that sacrifices other artifacts like treasures, blood tokens, and creates 1/1 constructs for us to attack with. And it also pings the opponent for damage while you're gaining life. This works really great with things like Gala Greeters and Smelter. Gala Greeters gets value when creatures enter the battlefield, so this thing is going to be creating treasures, which then creates construct creatures, which then creates another trigger for the Gala Greeters. It's quite a nice little cycle of value from the Gala Greeters. Smelter creates 3/1s that can attack as well, but there's another combination that I want to talk about here, which is Transmogrant Crown. For only one black source, you can attach this crown to any one of your creatures, like let's say a construct, for instance, and then we sacrifice it for free with the Anvil, getting not only damage through and creating another construct, but we draw a card, and we could be, doing this like 3 to 4 times a turn, depending on how much mana you have and how many, treasures and things that you have to sacrifice. But it's a lot of fun, man. This deck is a blast, and again, it's a value machine, and it's very, very hard to stop once it gets rolling. But I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy this one. There'll be a full deck breakdown at the end of today's video, so stick around for that. In the meantime, in the links below, there's a full deck list, and if you guys enjoy content just like this, if you wouldn't mind giving the video a like, subscribe, all that good stuff helps out an absolute ton, and I would greatly appreciate it. With that being said, enjoy the video, guys. We'll see you at the end. Peace. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're playing some Jund artifact. If you can't tell by the dad joke, this deck is going to be artifacts meets sacrifice. A really fun deck that's actually quite powerful, to be honest. Opening hand here is pretty good. We can make this work. Allergies have been going a little nuts today, guys. I apologize. Let's see here. How do we kick this thing off? How do we kick this thing off? Do we kick it off with Gala Greeters or maybe the Vampire Kiss? I'm not sure. The next card, I think, will determine that. Well, the opponent being a mono red player makes things a little tricky. But we are going to kick things off with the Vampire Kiss because I don't want them to burn out my creatures very fast. So we'll wait at least a turn here. All right, they go right into the impulse play here, and no mana from them, so maybe they've missed their third land drop. It does appear to be that they did. All right, we don't love taking damage here, but you know what? The Wormlet is going to gain us life, as well as the Gala Greeters. So there's going to be a lot of life gain happening here now that we got both of these down onto the battlefield. We'll create the treasure token, which pumps up the Wormlet and gains us 1 life. And then the Smelter will come in next turn, and then things will really start to heat up. The opponent, if the opponent doesn't kill the Wormlet or the Gala Greeters here, they're going to be in a world of hurt. This next turn is going to start really ramping up our plays. Our deck is quite quick in some spots. Like right now, it just takes a minute for us to kind of establish the board, but once we do, it's we start running away with it. But nope, that'll do it. They take care of the Wormlet. That's a bummer. We still have a little bit of our combinations still left here. Yeah, I mean, that's a good consolation prize for the Wormlet dying. All right, let's go with the tap treasure token first. Let's get the Smelter in here. Let's gain the 1/1 counter because we'll get the 2 life as well. Let's go with the 1/1 counter. Yes, we'll pay 1 treasure here. We'll sack a blood token, which creates us a 3/1 body, triggers all the Gala Greeters again, gain the life, gain the life. Back to 19, attacking the opponent for 5, and we are now officially the aggressors on mono red. You love to see it. We've been seeing a ton of mono red these last couple of days, huh? Kind of wild. But with the board state we've developed here with 2 Gala Greeters on board, I mean, this is a easy game for us, honestly, if we just don't get our Gala Greeters taken out. This should just about do it. All right, let's create another body here, which then triggers both Gala Greeters again. Let's create some treasures for us to sacrifice first. Then we pay 1, sack 1 of these treasures. And then let's go ahead and gain some. Oh, we might want to make these big enough first. Let's forget about the life gain for now. Let's make these big enough to where the opponent isn't. Oh, we have lethal. I didn't even count yet. I was gonna say let's make them big enough to where they're out of range of burn spells, but it didn't matter. We actually had lethal. I was moving so quickly there that I didn't actually see how much damage we had left to go. So I mean, we just absolutely out aggroed the aggro deck there. GG's. All right, it's always a pleasure beating mono red, man. Always a pleasure, especially when we can out aggro them. This deck does a little bit of everything, man. It's pretty fast, but it also, you know, once it's set up, has a lot of life gain mechanics to it. It's a pretty cool deck, man. It really is. It does a lot. Opening hand here. I mean, I'm gonna keep it because we got the smelter anvil combination, and we got the crown. So I mean, let's just hope that the next card we get off the top here is a black source. Maybe that'd be great. That would be great. It is in fact a black source, but not the way we anticipated. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play the crown this turn, and then we'll go for the smelter next turn, playing a tap land, and then the anvil will follow it up. So at least we'll get that rolling. A little bit slow, but you know what? It'll work. I don't love the Flesh Gorger on 3 here. That's tough. That's tough. That's a lot of life gain for the opponent here. Mono black. How do we fare against mono black? They're going to be a pretty good value deck themselves, so it's going to be hard to keep pace with them, but we should be fine. We should be fine. Once we start gaining life, we'll be fine, but speaking of gaining life, okay. Do we? Yeah, let's go with Gallagreeters. I was trying to think, do we go with Gallagreeters? But we definitely do, because Gallagreeters creates the treasures, which then creates all the value our deck can create. So here we go. Here we go. Opponent swings through for 3. We definitely eat that. That's fine. Gallagreeters gonna hopefully gain us a lot of life back here, but a little unlikely. Okay, cool. That's fine. That was probably the least harmful card we could have seen. So I'm so down for that. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's go with smelter, right? Smelter then creates us a treasure. Is that what we want to do? Because then we can no, let's not create a treasure. Let's do the life gain here. Let's do the life gain here. Let's do the anvil. Let's just set up. Let's just set up here. I know the treasure would have been nice there, because the treasure would have then allowed us to activate the smelter's ability to create a 3/1, but I think just gaining some life here, going for the setup is just fine. It might have been the wrong choice, but we'll see. We'll see if it ends up biting us in the butt or not. But next turn, we're going to be totally good to go, because the Gallagreeters will spit out treasures and gain us some life, because we're going to be creating creatures like crazy. So yeah, I definitely made a mistake there, because if I had gone treasure, the smelter could have sacked the treasure, creating the 3/1 that turn, which then would have gave us a 2 life gain from the Gallagreeter. So yeah, that was a bit of a mistake on my end. I knew too when I first played it, I was like, I'm going for the treasure, and then for whatever reason changed my mind. Well, that's what I get. That's what I get. All right, a little bit of a misplay on our end. We're gonna eat it though. We're gonna keep it moving. Let's go again. Smelter. This time, treasure. All right. And the anvil. The anvil. Or do we go for the card draw? Yeah, we're gonna go anvil, because it creates us multiple blockers, right? And it's another source of life gain. So let's go anvil. We sack the treasure, which then creates a couple 1/1s. Gains us some life here. All the triggers on the Gallagreeters. Then we go for the 1 mana pump here from the smelter. Sack the 1/1. We create a 3/1. The 3/1 can attack, but are we more concerned about our defenses, or are we more concerned about our aggression here? Let's go no attacks here. Let's build up a defense system at the moment. They're drawing cards with Bankbuster, but we've got a fully established board now, so I'm really not too concerned about what the opponent has to offer, because even Invoke Despair, they're only going to be hitting one of my creatures, and it's my choice, so I feel pretty good about this. I don't feel very good about this. All right, the smelter being taken out was probably the worst thing that could happen to us there, but all right, fair enough. It's kind of what I deserve, though. I'm telling you guys, that was a very sloppy beginning for me by playing the smelter into the Gala Greeters and not creating that treasure there. That was quite the mistake we made. I did resolve an anvil, though. So, I mean, I don't think I would have been able to resolve the anvil the other way around, so... All right, they send the 3/3 on through. You know what? I think I'm going to allow it. I kind of need to make sure that I have the... Well, yeah, I kind of need at least one of these artifacts alive for us to do the anvil stuff. So we're going to let this get through. We'll take the 3. No big deal. No big deal. Starting this next turn here right now, we are going to be drawing a lot of cards and doing some really great things. So let's get this in here. All right. We get the treasure first. All right, then we're going to attach this for 1 black source onto the construct here. This is where things get really fun. The crown really adds another layer of value for us here. We're going to sacrifice it immediately, creating 2 more constructs, which then gets us 2 more triggers here, a lot more life gain. We're right back into this game with all the life gain we're going to be getting. And then we'll attach this again here. And we will attack, which will probably end up drawing us another card. They don't block, though. Interesting choice. All right. Interesting choice. All right. Very nice, man. Very nice. Back to 14. Opponent at 21. You guys are starting to see the value too. The value that this deck generates, man, just with all the sacrificing, the life gains, the treasures, like everything's growing upwards. Like this is just great. The card draw too, that was the missing link to this deck too for so long. I could not figure out how to get this thing perfect. There were so many times we had games where it was going so well, and then out of nowhere we just ran out of cards in hand and we weren't able to do anything else. So adding this Transmogrant Crown into the mix has been absolutely phenomenal for us. It's been you know, able to keep us going. Excuse me, shouldn't have muted myself there, my bad. It's just a whole allergy situation, the cough, the nasally. All right, they crew up the Bank Buster. Savage. All right, they send everybody through here. Let's go with a block sack here. Little block sack action, gain some life, deal some damage, you know. You know. All right, first things first, let's go with this over here. We sack this. We get ourselves some cards, and we get to deal some damage, create some constructs. Oh, another Gala Greeters. Don't mind if I do. All right. 2 life gain here. Let's attach the crown to you again. Get that damage through. Gala Greeters, I mean, might as well start making some blocks with it, right? All right, nice. And end our turn, right? Or do we... Let's do this. All right, end the turn. End the turn. I guess I maybe wanted to attach that to one of the constructs there, because if we block sack, well, I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine. This will at least hopefully deter them from attacking in recklessly with those graveyard trespassers. Who knows? Who knows if they do or not? But we're at 11, and I mean, again, the value is on our end, and it's just growing and growing. So it's just a matter of time, I think. I mean, they do have access to Invoke Despair, which draws them a lot of cards, but even that I don't think is very good. I think we're fine. I definitely should have put this over here, though. couple of little mistakes on my end. This is the type of deck though that's definitely gonna you know, run me into some trouble because there's just so many ways it can go. Okay, that's okay. We're gonna draw a card. So it worked out. I mean, they had a kill spell for it, so that worked out okay. All right, the opponent attacks through. We're gonna eat 6 damage. They're gonna gain 3. All right, make it 7. I forgot about the damage there. I guess we could just do both here, right? We do have treasures for days, so we can just sack those. We have so much mana to work with. I'm not too concerned about it, to be honest. All right, and they get 3 for 3. I also could have killed this and just taken the 3, but it's fine. There's a million things we can do here. There's literally a million things we can do, so. All right, we don't get to draw any cards here this time though, because we did have to sack a treasure. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose the 3-1 here. All right. Fable the Mirror Breaker is not terrible. Let's gain 2 life. And we will attach this, like I said, to one of these constructs here, because I am going to sacrifice one of these constructs, I think. Maybe to Voltage Surge or even the Anvil. So either way, we're looking pretty good. I don't want to attack into the opponent this time. I'm going to play a little bit more defensively. Yeah, I just don't think attacking in here is too wise. They're at 30 life total, so... All right, that's fine. I don't love it, but it's fine. I really didn't mind that though, because again, the Fable was there, so it's not going to get them a ton of value. I'm more concerned about them drawing cards. That's all I care about. So the fact that they weren't able to there was pretty good. All right, here comes the attacks. Let's start by blowing this up. Let's blow this up. Let's sack this. All right. Then we block here. We block here. Finally taking care of those pesky graveyard trespassers. They're down to 1 creature really that's a threat here. And we draw a card. We love that. And let's end our turn. We do need that treasure, unfortunately, to become the constructs. All right, and Fable the Mirror Breaker again gets us the 2 life gain that we need. And this would be going a lot faster, by the way, guys, if we still had like a smelter on the field. All right, we send these through. I guess I could have attached the crown over here to get more damage and then placed it over here after the fact, but it's fine. This will work out. It's just 2 damage. Which doesn't really make too much of a difference. I feel like this game's going to end in a concede before we get damage across. That's for sure. I'm glad Gala Greeters is still in this thing, though, because that could be a huge problem for us if it wasn't. All right, let's go ahead and drop into Crucible here. 2 life. Treasure. One of these. And it looks like they have a cut down of some sort or kill spell. Yep, it's cut down. All right. At least they choose the wrong creature here and they lose their Flesh Gorger. They could have killed the 3-1 with that cut down and they'd still have a Flesh Gorger. So I don't know why they chose that as the way to go, but GG's. I felt like I said, it's going to end in a concede here because now we've got the, I mean, everything's on our side. There's nothing they can do. They've got way more life than us, but that's not enough to carry them through. So GG, a little bit of a slugfest there. What an absolute grind fest that was, man. That was a tough one though. I know a lot of people out there, not a lot, I should say, just a handful of people would like to tell me how bad of a player I am, so they're gonna have some fun with this one. This deck is very confusing. There are a lot of different triggers and directions it can go, so it Little hard to navigate, to say the least. Opening hand here's a scary one. We are keeping it because we have the wormlet into the crown, but it is a bit of a scary keep here because we don't have a third land drop, nor do we have any black sources, so could get interesting. See if the opponent keeps their hand or not. They do. Just about to lean back and relax there for a second. Is this mono red possibly? We'll see. We will see. We get in for 2 though right away. We've gained some life. If it's mono red, we're off to a pretty good start here. I do need that third land drop though ASAP. Okay, yeah, it's definitely a mono red deck. I don't think they had an answer for the wormlet, and they probably were just like, you know what, whatever. Or they kept the one lander. I don't know. GG. You hate to see it, but I mean, a win's a win, I guess. That's not the types of games you want, especially not when you're trying to make a cool video. Oh, mono red. At least they're quick, right? Mono red's always going to be quick. All right, at least we get a better start this time, it looks like, with the Gala Greeters. Ooh, and an anvil. We'll take it. We will take it. Okay, Jeskai colors with a research deck, which exile top 2 cards in your library. Choose one of them. Okay, that's fine. Smelter. What's the right choice here? That's a good question. What is the right choice here? I think it honestly is the Vampire Kiss, because it gets the ball rolling, right? It gets enough blood tokens onto the battlefield that we can immediately start sacrificing things with the anvil and the smelter. Vampire Kiss has got to be the best 2-drop, I think, for us. Okay, Steel Seraph. Gonna give itself whatever, it doesn't matter. All right, do we go Smelter here? Probably, right? Let's go Smelter and let's start pressuring the opponent here. All right, and then next turn we do hope for another land so we can obviously play out 2 spells at once, but if we get another land, do we really want to play 2 spells at once? It's a great question, actually, because we wouldn't be able to activate the Smelter's ability if that's the case. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a crown and... or there's so many options. I love that we have so many options, but this is where my misplace and non-optimal playing comes in, because I tend to make decisions that are not the most optimal. All right, they go for Vigilance instead of Lifelink, which very cool for me, honestly.
Nature provided the blueprints.
All right, we hit the land drop. Now we got a tough decision ahead of us here. So I think personally that I want to get a Gala Greeters in here, because I think it generates the most value for us once these creatures start hitting the field. I don't have a great attack with these 1/1s being out there, do I? Maybe it's the anvil then. Or maybe it's another Gala Greeters. You know what? Let's go double Gala Greeters here. Maybe. No attacks. All right, we're gonna have to outvalue them in the long game here. It's gonna be a little bit of a longer battle again. These 1/1 tokens being in front of me are a little bit tough to have to get through. And they play a weak stone, might stone situation. Killing the smelter. Yikes. Okay. That is tough. I don't like that. Don't love that.
Let's see where this train of thought leads.
Vigilance again, so they can keep smacking us. Smart. All right. Boseiju. Could be important. Let's go with the anvil first. This is such a tricky game, man. This one's hurting my brain a little bit. All right, and then we might want to just use the Boseiju as a land here. We have treasure. First things first, we're definitely going anvil here. We're sacking the blood token. That's not a question. That's definitely going to be the move. And then both of these. Probably give them 1/1 counters right now. Scale them upwards a little bit. And we may need this, man. I'm telling you, we may need it. So I'm gonna go here, and we're gonna go ahead and sack the treasure to place this onto a greeter, or do we want to place it here and attack in? Let's just place it onto a greeter. Oh, that doesn't make much sense, does it? Let's place it onto the construct. The construct is going to be something we choose to sacrifice later. Gala greeters, I want to put it on the Gala greeters because they're the most likely scenario to be hit with some sort of removal, right? But they would just remove the other one as opposed to the one with the crown. So let's just go ahead and go that route. I'm really glad I found Besage because that is a problem.
Of course I can improve on
I'm glad we
ancient
saved it. That is a very, very clutch save. All right, they unearth. Sack it. They find the Urza, which is a problem because we can't deal with the Urza right away unless we find a voltage surge. Yikes, that'll take care of the Urza in some way, shape, or form. Okay, first things first. We attack. Here. All right, it gets through. And then we take the anvil.
Really, my
We
designs
sack
have room
this.
for improvement.
Let's create treasures. Trying to think here. Yeah, let's create treasures. Okay. Another anvil is beautiful. Okay. But we are going to go with the harvester first. Harvester is going to gain it. Oh, let's get bigger. I'm not too worried about the life gain at the moment. There's not a ton of damage on deck that's necessarily concerning me. I'm going to blow this up. All right, we got plenty of mana and things to work with now. The crown, unfortunately, not able to put it onto anything this turn, but I mean, we're completely established on the board now. It comes down to this Urza play. They have 5, 6, 7 mana left over. Sure enough, they can meld. That meld is probably going to be what takes us out here. Urza being melded is not a card that you can beat very easily. It is a very, very tough card to beat. Yep, there goes one of my Gala greeters. Probably the other one as well. Nope, they create 2 more artifacts. Okay, so they leave me with 1 Gala greeters, which is enough to get the job done, I think. All right, more mana is fine. All right, definitely gonna play another anvil here. Actually, yeah, we're gonna have to do that, right? Gonna have to do that. Let's sack this. There are so many things we can do here, man. I am just not sure if we're making the right choices, but we're trying. We're definitely trying. All right, and then if we minus on, if we take this out, well, there's no blood tokens actually anymore, right? So if we do this first and then do this ability, that's still not enough. Okay, so we attack with everything into the Urza because it's the card that's kind of trying to take us out of this game right now. They make some blocks. Sure, and sure. All right, so Urza's still alive, but we were able to clean up most of their board. Draw a card. We already played a land, right? Okay. Already played a land. Let's attach this to Gala greeters in case they want to try to do some removal stuff on us. And lastly, we will go here. and we will end our turn. All right, let's see what Urza tries to do this turn. They probably will go for the exile on the Gala Greeters. Artifacts cost 2 less, you gain 2 life. That's fine. Oh man, another Might Stone, Weak Stone. Gonna be a -5/5 on the Gala. Sure. All right. We do get a card draw though. Better than exiling me. Voltage Surge. That's huge. That's actually huge because I think they have the Steel Seraph to protect the Urza right now. All right. Definitely taking you out. All right, hopefully no counter magic though. There's definitely a possibility of counter magic here. Take out the Steel Seraph. It is a make disappear. Bummer. Okay. Make disappear. The Seraph is still alive then. That's tough. That is tough. They're gonna give it vigilance again, sure. What a grind fest, man. These games have been really grindy. This one being extra tough with the Urza being out there. I can't believe we survived 2 turns already with it out there, though. Another Gala Greeters is not terrible. Could have been way worse. I'll take it. Let's put this on this. And... man, I feel like I got to attack in here. Put some pressure on the opponent. All right. See what they want to do here with the blocks. They're gonna have to block everything here, so they double. Oh, okay, they double down on that. Nice. We get 3 damage through. Okay. Okay. In that case, we go here. Well, hold on. Yeah. Yeah, that'll do. I'm trying to maximize this transmogrant crown, which is why I was a little hesitant there on what to do. All right, and then we create another one, get a 1/1 counter. So we deal 3 to the Urza. They're left with just a Might Stone, a Seraph. Oh, you dirty dog. Never mind. Never mind. All right. Bummer. All right. There are no cards in hand, though. I guess that's a benefit, right? And we end the turn here, or do we? Well, let's do this first. Let's do this first. Most likely it's going to get exiled, though, through the Urza's ability, so... this is probably over, unfortunately. We you know, surviving Urza this long has been a nice little notch under our belt. But Urza's eventually going to be able to do its thing. Surprising they still have not pulled the trigger on the Urza to exile the Gala Greeters, but they are trying to probably just ult it here. Artifacts and planeswalkers you control gain indestructible until the end of turn, destroy all non-land permanents. That's pretty good. Draw 5. Oh my gosh, that'll do it. That's definitely going to be the game, unfortunately. Bummer. Really fun deck that the opponent has here, though. I mean, Jeskai with Urza melds, that's always going to be a good time. So I do respect the loss here. It is what it is. I mean, just a powerful game from the opponent here. Was able to stop us even with double anvil. I'm sure this game was riddled with misplays. It's fine. You know, it's gonna happen. All right, blood token down. Like, even now, I probably should have cycled the land first, because who knows? I could have probably drew into like a wormlet or something, which might have been important. They have a march. Okay, that's tough. That is tough. Could have also put the crown on one of these and sacked one of these instead of sacking a blood token. This game is so far over with, though. I just don't necessarily yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and good game them here. A 9 loyalty on an Urza is plenty to get the job done. They can trigger it twice every turn, so even us getting 1 point of damage through to lower its loyalty is not nearly enough. So Well played. Well played. Man, now I feel like going to meld an Urza. That looks so much fun, man. Melding Urza looks like a blast, but I've done it before, but usually when you meld an Urza, the opponent doesn't let you stick around very long. They just concede right away, but that one was interesting to watch it kind of do its thing. Definitely not the way I would have played it myself, but very cool to watch. All right, well, this is not the greatest start, but it's good enough to keep. By the way, this may be our last game here. I wanted to try to get one more game in here where we can get a W to end it off, but opening hand here is a little spotty. Man, what do we want to do? I don't know. Well, blue mana, huh? Okay, well. Yeah, let's get the Smelter in. Smelter is open to removal, though. We'll see what happens here. The opponent on mono blue potentially, or Demir based on their sleeves. Looking like more like mono blue right now. All right, we're gonna save that tri-land just in case we want to cycle it away later. And it's a Spell Pierce. Yep, definitely gonna be mono blue. Probably should have went with the Wormlet just to be on the safe side of things, but Make Disappear and Spell Pierce aren't typically the counters that they normally would use. That's a good find. Oh man, it is a good find, but oh, we're unable to pull the trigger on it this turn because we don't have any treasures. Oh man. Yeah, that's a bummer. Could have been a really good turn for us here blowing up the Jhin, but now not so great. Not so great. Because now they can counter it, which I'm sure they will. Oh, mono blue, what to do? What to do? Mono blue is not a deck I wanted to run into today. I haven't ran into it in a long time though, so it was bound to happen sooner or later. All right, here we go. Everything is ready to go and online, so let's make this happen. Wormlet comes down. Hopefully it does. Nice. So we get the treasure. Perfect. And we get hopefully the anvil as well. We do avoid Spell Pierce and Make Disappear, but there are spells I'm sure that are in their hand still, like a negate. Impulse is fine. Come on, Magic Gods, you're there. If you're there and you're listening, please allow this anvil to get there. Please allow it to get there. Please allow it to get there. Let's go. Oh my gosh, that's huge. Okay. All right, so we already created a treasure this turn. Something to keep in mind. So anvil. We have to pull the trigger on this. We have to, which makes things a little tricky here. Yeah, it makes things very tricky here. Let's put a 1/1 counter here. Now, here's the thing, right? I could Smelter, turn this into a 3/1. I guess that would make sense to get the 2 life gain. That might be relevant. Let's do that. All right, so let's get the life gain, maximize that. No attacks. Voltage Surge, auto pay. All right, what this does though now is it kind of leaves me in a spot here where we're in no man's land, right? Like we don't have any artifacts, right? Obviously, every card in our deck should be able to produce as an artifact of some shape or form. But there are some hits that I'm worried that we get, like lands that don't quite get us there. Or that doesn't quite get us there either. Ah, man, that's a bummer. Okay, we're going to try, though. We're going to try. Such a bummer, man. What do we do? I don't think we mess around with these anvils right now. I think having 2 of them on the field is actually very, very good. We just have to figure out a way to get there with another artifact of some sort. That's a really strange block here. Really strange. Why would they do that? They got to slip out the back maybe? Probably, right? Okay, that makes sense. All right. They're down to 13. All right, double anvil means double the pressure. If we can just find a spell here to give me those treasures. A creature or a spell, anything really. All right, that's really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be upset if they beat us with something like that, because that is not a traditional mono blue deck at all. That's something a lot more creative. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You're forcing me to do some really... Okay, well, I got to keep the pressure on, so unfortunately, it's been nice knowing you, Anvil. I have to. They've given me no other choice. All right, here's where things get really good for us. I wish we could have gone double anvil there, but you know, you can't have it all. Can't have it all. All right, so they will probably do this onto the Delver, which makes a copy of the Delver. I don't know if they're gonna get the 3/2 side though. Do they get the 3/2 side? Probably. Ah, man. I don't know. I don't know, so I can't throw everything at it. I want to see what happens here. If it turns out to be the 1/1 side of the Delver, I'm going to be pretty upset, because I could have swung in with everything here, but I just don't know how that works with the card being already flipped over. Because it's not a nighttime, daytime mechanic, right? So it's not guaranteed to come in on the backside unless the conditions were met. But if the card's already on the backside, it's just, I don't know. It's up in the air for me. Up in the air. There's the shore up. Here comes the copy. Yep, it is a 3/2. Okay, I'm glad I withheld. Glad I withheld there a little bit. The shore up though, on tapping the insectile makes things a little trickier. I do wonder though if they let the 3 damage get through. Interesting. Slip out the back. Okay. All right. Maybe we just got to focus on pinging them to death now though, because of the ability to just keep creating all these 3/2 flyers. Man, that's very problematic. That is a very good combination, man. Oh man, what do we do? Would have been nice if we had double anvil. But we just could not find what we needed there. All right, it looks like they're running out of juice here though, which is great. I mean, I say running out of juice, but they just threw out a handful more creatures. But I mean in the fact of like, maybe they don't have any more targeting spells here. Can I just please draw something helpful? Anything, please. Oh, brother. All right, let's go with tap treasure token. If we lose this one, it's going to come down to the fact that simply we just could not find anything helpful from the top of our deck. All right, we get another 3/1. Get a 1/1 counter. Now, if we send everybody through here, what does that look like exactly? So they would block. They'd probably block here, right? And maybe chump block this. So they take 3, 4, 5, 6, taking them down to 4. Not quite good enough. We're gonna have to pass the turn and just hope that the opponent here doesn't find a way to flip this Delver. Oh, man. Okay. Is that lethal though? Let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, not quite. 14. Another Delver though. Yikes. I do hope they send it though. Please send it. Please full send this. No, they're not full sending. Tough. All right. All right, they deal the 8 damage over the top, leaving themselves plenty of blocks here. All right, what am I hoping for off the top here? Maybe, I don't know. Oh, I know what I want. I know exactly what I want. What's it called though? It's the Junkyard Genius. That card would definitely get us there. Whenever you cast a spell that targets only a single creature you control, so not me. Not me. That doesn't include me. All right, we go here. We deal our damage. We create another artifact construct. Create a treasure. All right, and they're down to 9. We what? We blow up this. Man, imagine their last card in hand here, some sort of hexproof. All right, cool. That would have been so bad. All right, they say good game. So how do they block now? They chump here, they block here, they block here. That's 6, 7 damage gets through. 7 damage gets through, and I'm left with what? I don't know. Do I attack here? Do I attack here? So they block. Again, they block here. They're gone. That Delver's gone. This blocks here. We trade. That's gone. They block here. My Smelter's gone. These two get through. 6, 7. Taking them down to 2, and I'm only left with these. I don't think I can attack here yet, guys. I really don't. Do I attack here? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No attacks yet. We're waiting. We're waiting. Patience, man. Patience. Oh, patience, please. Come on. That last card in hand was irrelevant, though, because they didn't play it, and they did have mana open, I believe. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I may want to save the blood token, right? Because if we save the blood token, Blood Tithe Harvester could end up killing something for us, which might be extremely good for us. Auto pay. Turn this into 3-1. All right. Thinking again. 7 goes through. They block here. This comes through. Yeah, I think that's good enough now to send. I really do. I think that's good enough. Please don't have another targeting spell on your own creature. I don't think they do, though, because I'm telling you guys, we hit them with that kill spell last turn, and they weren't able to do much about it. So I'm going off of a little bit of a hunch, but it's based on some theories that we've seen so far, on some plays we've seen. All right. They're down to 2. Perfect. And we're left with some really good key players here. Good role players here. We're up to 28. No attacks from the opponent here are going to be too much for us to bear. But another Duplemency. There's no way they have another targeting spell, though, because they would have already cast that. So they definitely just drew into the Duplemency, which is pretty solid, but definitely not enough for them to get the job done. Right? What? So they had the Fading Hope this whole time? That's strange. That's very strange. How do we win the game, though? We're missing 1 point of damage here. Let's do that. Gosh darn it, not good enough. Okay. Let's do this. All right. I'm not able to get that 1 point of damage that I'm looking for here, which is such a bummer. Let's go here. And attacks here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we just send it. Yeah, I mean, they have to block everything independently, right? So we send it all through and we take out a lot of their creatures. Obviously, we lose 3 of our own. But what's nice about this is I have the anvil to deal that 1 additional damage. And really, we're just shutting down their ability to deal damage back to us to put us in any sort of position to lose the game here. So, all right. I think we got this. It was just a bit of a... Man, these grinding games, man. Holy cow. This might be one of the longer videos we ever posted. Unfortunate, but all right, good game, my friend. Good game. Wow, what a tough one. What a tough one. We didn't get nearly any of the spells we would have liked to have seen there either. Tough. Let's break it down. We're late. That will conclude today's gameplay portion of the video. We are going to break the deck down and talk about it a little bit further. Before I do that, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who made it this far. It helps an absolute ton with the YouTube algorithm, so thanks for sticking with me all the way to the end. I do appreciate it a lot. With that being said, let's take a look at the deck. An absolute value train. I love this deck. It's a lot of fun and it's really hard to beat, like I said, once it gets rolling. But there are some things, I'm not sure exactly how I would change them, but I will say and be completely honest that this deck felt a little clunky in some spots. It does take a little bit longer to establish than I had initially anticipated, especially being a deck with such a small curve. But I think because we have so many 2-drops, it's kind of hard to figure out, what I want to play and when I want to play it, because the curve is just so 2-drop heavy. And, it just trying to keep your creatures on the board long enough to combo off with other creatures. It just was a little more tough than I thought it would be. But once established, like I said, this thing is insane. We got the anvil, of course. This is a no-brainer. This is what the deck is kind of built around, this idea of sacrificing artifacts for construct creatures, which triggers again with the Gallic Readers, which is where I really want, which is where this deck really started. Was this Gallic Reader sort of idea where we create the construct that gets a treasure. That treasure can become another construct down the road, so on and so forth. And then obviously it allows us to play Wormlet and being in these colors as well. So these two things made a lot of sense to me to have in a deck, and is why we kind of went with the Jund colors in this artifact deck. Now from there, I knew I wanted the Smelter as well, because again, creates a construct creature, plays off of both the Wormlet and the Gallic Readers. There's this cycle of creating creatures, sacrificing artifacts, triggering the Gallic Readers to create more artifacts, and so on and so forth. And then I had a lot of success last time we played Anvil with the Vampire Kiss. Big fan of this card, being able to deal 2 damage, gain 2 life, but mostly because it can create us 2 blood tokens, which can be used as fodder for those sacrifices, which is really important because Gallic Readers is great, but you don't get a treasure for playing Gallic Readers. You have to play something else to get that treasure, which starts this little tough little spot where you go like, how do I generate my actual artifacts and get them going? Because this sacrifices artifacts, this sacrifices artifacts, this gets value from artifacts entering, this sacrifices artifacts. So we needed a way to actually get those artifacts and get them going. So Gallic Readers obviously being one of those things, but it can't carry the whole weight of the world on its shoulders. So Vampire Kiss was a good way to get 2 blood tokens, get us started off on the right foot, and get us going pretty fast, because doubling down on artifacts here is really nice. Not to mention the crown, dude. This thing was really sweet. This was a late addition to the deck. This deck was doing really good, but I was falling flat in the late game because I couldn't reload, especially from sweepers and things like that. So the crown was such a fantastic way to keep my hand very healthy and always at like 5 to 7 cards, because you can attach this thing for just a single mana to any of these artifacts and then sacrifice it, drawing a card immediately, also being able to deal extra damage. It does up the skill level needed to navigate this deck, because you want to place it onto a creature and then attack for that damage, but at the same time you want to place it on an artifact that you want to sack right away. So it gets a little bit tricky on when you should attack, when you should sack, and how you should attach it after the fact to ensure safety of certain creatures. But it was definitely worth it. It's a card that definitely belongs in this deck, and again, just a ton of value here. And then Blood Tithe Harvester was just a nice little, obvious one, because it triggers the Gallic Readers, but also creates the blood token. So that was kind of a no-brainer. Fable as well, another no-brainer, just one of the best red cards out there right now, and creates treasures every turn potentially. So made a lot of sense. Here's where things got fun too. I found the Junkyard Genius and I fell in love with this card, because it's a good way to end the game out of nowhere the opponent doesn't see coming, because it comes into the battlefield as a 2/2 and creates this Power Stone. But what's great about this is for 3 mana, we can give all of our creatures haste, which is great, and menace and 1-0. So if you got a field full of artifact creatures that aren't really doing a whole lot for you, but you give them all menace and haste and they all get pumped up by 1, you can kind of swing through and hopefully get that last, you know, whatever 6-7 damage you need to get through to win the game. So this was a nice way to kind of go over the top and surprise the opponent. But yeah, that's the whole deck in a nutshell, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Again, just a lot of, I mean, it was a lot of fun, a big value generator, but again, I don't know if I necessarily would craft this as is. I would make some adjustments. It just didn't feel, when I play decks, even if I have good runs with them, I can tell pre-games and then also during the games that they have a certain feel. And this one felt like it could use, I don't know, maybe a couple more 1-drops or even cutting a couple 2-drops for more 3-drop value. I'm not sure, but it did seem like the 2-drop, you know, was a little bit too congested and made things a bit tough. But I hope you guys can make something out of this and get some inspiration. That's really why I honestly make these videos, is not to tell you guys, hey, craft this idea, it's really, really cool, but to hopefully inspire you guys to build something similar and give you guys some ideas. So take it for what it is, and I appreciate you watching. But with that all being said and done, I do appreciate you guys for hanging out with me today, and that will conclude today's video. But before I get out of here, a huge shout out to the Mardu Mob, guys. I appreciate the Mardu Mob so very much. It's the membership program on this channel. Got to give them a huge shout out, of course, at the end of every video. Let them know how much I do appreciate their patronage and helping you know, the channel grow. So I do want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And yeah, we'll be back again tomorrow for another one. Tomorrow is Mardu, so there you go. Shout out to Mardu Mob. And yeah, that'll conclude today's video. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Until next time, peace out.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Swayze, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man. Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.